Syrian Arab Army units continue to chase terrorists in Aleppo, Deir ez-Zor and Latakia. Iran renews its support for a political solution to the crisis in Syria, rejecting any foreign intervention. And Dubai police chief says that what's happening in the region is a Muslim Brotherhood American deal aimed to protect Israel. Good afternoon, this is News in English. Terrorists detonated today an explosive device that was stuck into a private car in Berniya Street of Ruknuddin neighborhood in Damascus, injuring one citizen. Police sources said that the terrorist blast resulted in the injury of the driver and the material damage in the car. Syrian Arab Army units carried out a precise collaborative operation against hideouts of terrorists in the area between quarters of Bustan al-Basha and Sheikh Maqsoud in Aleppo. They destroyed 2 rocket launchers, 2 mortar guns and 3 vehicles carrying heavy machine guns. Many terrorists, including a sniper, were killed and others were wounded as a result of the operation. A unit of the Syrian Arab Armed Forces also clashed with another terrorist group in Sheikh Maqsoud, killing and wounding many terrorists, including six non-Syrians. In the Aleppo countryside, a unit of our valiant armed forces carried out a qualitative operation in the vicinity of Menech airport, killing a large number of terrorists and destroying a cannon and a heavy machine gun, in addition to a tractor and a booby-trapped car. In Mu'alat Masrin of Idlib countryside, a unit of the Syrian Arab Army raided a hideout of the leaders of some terrorist groups, destroying all weapons and ammunition inside. A military source said that the operation resulted in the killing and injuring of all who were inside the hideout, which was used to lead and mastermind the criminal acts of the terrorists in Mu'alat Masrin. The source added that units of our valiant armed forces continued to chase the terrorists in Kafruma, Farjun, Bruma Farms, Jisr al-Shughur, Kafradin and Qastun al-Sharqiyya, killing many of them and injuring others. Meanwhile, an attempt by a terrorist group to attack a checkpoint at the crossroads of Sirmin Binish was foiled, killing most of the terrorists. In Deir ez-Zor, our Syrian Arab Armed Forces killed and wounded members of 2 terrorist gangs in the quarters of As-Sina'a and Ajbili. Also in Latakia, units of our valiant Syrian armed forces targeted some gatherings of terrorists, killing many of them, destroying 6 vehicles equipped with heavy machine guns, and also our military units pounded another convoy of vehicles carrying terrorists and weapons near Kinsebba and Rab'a. In Tel Kalakh, in Homs countryside, terrorists of Al-Nusra Front committed a new savage massacre in Al-Burj quarter of that town, killing citizens, mostly women and children. We advise our viewers that the footage we're broadcasting is of a graphic nature. Syrian Arab Armed Forces captured stores of smuggled weapons belonging to the terrorists, one of them in the orchards of Daraya in the Damascus countryside, and the other in the village of Qasarin in the eastern countryside of Hama. The store in Daraya proved that the terrorists of Al-Nusra Front received these weapons information from the people, revealed the hideout of terrorist gangs in the orchards. After accurate monitoring, a unit of the security forces stormed the hideout and captured large amounts of weapons and different kinds of ammunition and handmade bombs, in addition to automatic guns. In the village of Qasarin, to the east of Hama, Syrian Arab Army units, in collaboration with locals there, confronted a terrorist gang, killing and wounding all its members. The army also captured stolen vehicles carrying false car plates and a large amount of ammunition and equipment, including RPG missiles, communication equipment and advanced computers that were used by the terrorists. Iran renewed its support of a political solution to the crisis in Syria through national dialogue and the rejection of any foreign intervention in Syria's internal affairs. The Iranian attitude was expressed by the Assistant Foreign Minister for Arab and African Affairs, Mr. Hussein Amir Abdullahian, in Cairo. Following his meeting with the Secretary General of the Arab League, Abdullahian said that the Syrian people would determine their own future. All parties should work to stop violence. Iran rejected any hasty stops. or steps. The Arab League should play a balanced role of mediation in this matter. Following his meeting with the Egyptian Foreign Minister, Mr. Abdullahian said that Iran and Egypt had a common stand in the same trench and that the crisis should only be solved politically. The Egyptian Foreign Minister said and called for protecting Syria's unity, asserting that the continuing tragedy and bloodshed in Syria could lead to the deterioration of the situation there and the whole region in after effect. Mr. Abdullahian discussed with Al-Akhdar al-Ibrahimi the necessity of solving the crisis in Syria through political mechanisms within the context of UN efforts. After his visit, Abdullahian held a press conference in which he repeated Iran's support for the political solution in Syria. Dahi Khalfan, commander of Dubai Police, asserted that the Muslim Brotherhood concluded an agreement with the US aimed at achieving security for Israel. He asserted that as long as the guidance of the Muslim Brotherhood continued to rule Egypt, Hamas would not be allowed to fire any rockets against the Israeli entity. Khalfan said that the Kuwaiti paper Al-Anba that the Arab countries were witnessing fragmentation and not spring. He said that Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt were the result of the American plot aimed at protecting Israel, asserting that Kuwait's inclination followed the Muslim Brotherhood agenda would lead to massacres in the Gulf. In the Tunisian capital Tunis, a huge rally was held in solidarity with Syria as thousands of participants asserted their stance in support of the Syrian people and leadership in face of the conspiracy hatched to undermine this steadfast country. Participants in the march, which coincided with the 37th anniversary of the Lands Day, expressed their strong condemnation of the terrorism which is exported to Syria and supported by some Arab regional and international countries. The marchers held the Syrian Arab flag, chanting slogans that said "Down with the conspiracy" and "Down with the enemies of Syria," while other slogans saluted the steadfastness of the Syrian Arab army. Participants also burned the Israeli flag. With this, we come to the end of our news for today. For more details, you can visit our website in English, www.syriaonline.sy. Stay with us. After the break, we have the latest in economy for you with Denise.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. The manager of the Energy Research Center asserted that the work is going on in cooperation with the Ministry of Local Administration to apply the thermal insulation systems on all modern and old buildings. This will have many economic advantages. The newly issued Thermal Insulation Code Agreement is an all-new concept. It is the product of the mutual cooperation between the Ministry of Local Administration and the Ministry of Electricity since the year 2007. The Energy Research Center has been keen to apply this building code on the new licenses. Moreover, the system saves 30% of the electric power. The Minister of Economy and Foreign Trade asserted that the ministry will issue a decree that allows importing a specific amount of frozen chickens. The minister said that the imported chicken will be sold at half cost and it will be distributed throughout the consumer establishments. He also pointed out that the decree would be activated during a limited period of time. The Director General of the Investment Commission, Hala Ghazal, indicated that the Commission is working to find new legislations that will develop the current investment process legislations. The Director pointed out that the new legislations will be viewed by all the formal and informal establishments that are participating in this Commission. She also asserted that despite of the current crisis, businesses are still running, adding that the industrial sector is ranked first, followed by the agricultural sector, then the transportation sector. The American spot oil slid from the highest price in 6 weeks, snapping its longest rally this year. Futures dropped as much as 0.6% after 5 days of gains through March, when it made a quarterly advance. The Standard & Poor's 500 index advanced to record as the companies traded closer to the new price estimates. The European stocks were little changed this week. The Japanese stocks, on the other hand, fell as a central bank survey of large manufacturers' sentiment missed estimates. Gold traded little changed after 2 quarterly losses amid speculations that the U.S.'s economy recovery is better and the stronger dollar may cut the demand. Silver and palladium declined while platinum advanced on record high holdings. The euro fell versus most of its 16 major counterparts ahead of a report that will be issued tomorrow. This report may show that the unemployment in the bloc climbed to a record during February, 2 days before European Central Bank officials meet to set interest rates. Ladies and gentlemen, this was our economic news for today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.